Hi everybody, welcome to Rhythm with Mrs. Wilder. I want to show you how to make one measure of music and we're going to write this together. So the first thing you need is the time signature. So I'm going to write the 4/4 and then I'm going to show you. You need a piece of paper and a pencil, so please go get one. You can always pause the video. You need a piece of paper and a pencil. So I'm going to write the 4/4 for you. And this is what you need to write as well. Write 4, line, and 4. And this top 4 means there's 4 counts in a measure. Another way of thinking about it is your mama gave you $4 to spend at the dollar store. Okay? And we're going to buy 4 quarter notes. So first I'm going to make the circle. And I'll show you what that looks like. So first I made the circle, and it's filled in because the quarter note is filled in. And now I'm going to make a stem, or a stick, I like to say. And then you make the stick. And now you put, since we spent $1 already at the dollar store, we need to put a $1 underneath. And now we need to make another circle and make a stick. So, and then this is our second dollar, so we put a 2 underneath it because it's the second dollar. And then we make another one. You make the circle. Make the circle, and then you make the stick, or the stem it's called. The circle is called the note head, and the stick is called the stem. And this is the third dollar we've spent. So don't forget, you're going to the dollar store and you need to spend all your dollars. You can't come back with money in your pocket. And then I made a circle and I made the stick, made the stem. So these are our 4 quarter notes. And then we're going to write the double bar line. Now the double bar line is free and the time signature is free. It's just you need to fill in the measure with the things that you bought from the dollar store. And this is called, the measure contains the notes. So this right here is called a measure. This is measure 1. So we went to the dollar store. We had $4 to spend. We bought 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is $1, $2, $3, your third dollar, and that's your fourth dollar. And this is actually one measure of music, and that's how you write it. So when I ask you to write a rhythm, you can write this rhythm. Now our goal is to use different kinds of notes, not just the same notes, but it's okay if we in the beginning use the same notes. So let's make a measure using 2 half notes. So you always start with the 4/4 because you have to know how many counts or how many dollars you have to spend. So you can think about the dollars at the dollar store to spend, or you can think about the counts in the measure. Remember, this is one measure. We're going to make another measure of music. This time we're going to use the half note. Remember, the half note is open. So you make a circle like that, and then you use the stick or the stem. And since this gets $2 or 2 counts, I'm going to write the 1 and the 2 next to it because it takes up it's not 12. It gets $1 and $2 because this gets $2. This is a more expensive item at the dollar store. And then I'm going to write another circle because this is the note head, and leave it open because the half note is open. And then I'm going to put $3 and $4 underneath it. See how I have $3 and $4? It's not 12 and 34. It's 1, 2, $2 and 3, 4. That's the third and the fourth dollar. And then you always end with the double bar line. And I'm going to show you how to do this. And I want you to copy this down, and I want you to practice writing rhythms. Because don't forget, closer to the end of the year, we're going to have our post-test. And I want to make sure everybody shows lots of growth. So this is the measure 1, or measure with 2 half notes in it. And this is what it looks like. When I ask you to make a rhythm, you can make this rhythm, you can make this rhythm, you can write it for me. Now I want to show you how to make a 2-measure rhythm. So you always start with the 4/4. You always need the time signature, and the time signature is free. So you always write this first, okay? So continue to write these things down. Now I'm going to make a measure using 4 quarter notes. So I'm always going to write the note head first for the quarter note, and the quarter note is filled in. And then I wrote the note head, and now I'm going to write the stem and write the number 1. Write the number 1 down, and next make another note head for the second quarter note and fill it in, and draw the stem and write the number 2 underneath, because that's your second dollar. We're making the first measure. We're going to have 2 measures of music today. Right now, we're going to write 2 measures of music, and we'll work on 3 as well. So I'm going to make another quarter note and write the stem and put the number 3 there, because that's the third dollar that we're using. Remember, your mama gave you $4 for the dollar store, and you need to spend all $4. And the notes, these quarter notes cost $1, so you can buy more of them. And now I'm going to draw a bar line. So this is our first measure. So we're actually going to write 2 measures. This is measure 1, and this is going to be measure 2. So you have your 4 quarter notes here. The time signature is free, so you spent $4. When you get to the second measure, your mama gave you a second $4, or you have 4 more counts to use. So now you need to spend these $4. So now we're going to have a half note. Remember, that's the circle that's open. It's open. It's not filled in like the quarter note, because these cost more. The half note costs more. They get 2 counts, or they get $2. Then you're going to write the 1 and the 2 underneath, because it gets $2. And then you're going to make another circle, because you're going to buy another half note, or use 2 counts again. So this would be count 3 and 4. Make the stick or the stem and write count number 3 and count number 4 underneath. And then you put the double bar line at the end. It's a thin line and a thick line. So you always start with the time signature, and you always end with the double bar line. And I'm going to show you what this looks like in just a minute. I want you to copy this down and put this in your music notebook or your music folder. And I want you to, for this week, I want you to practice writing these measures. Practice writing the 1 measure with the quarter notes. Practice like 4 times, and 4 times or 5 times write the half note. 4 or 5 times write this 2 measure rhythm with the 4 quarter notes and the 2 half notes. So this is measure 1. Your mama gave you $4. You spent it with 4 quarter notes. And this is measure 2, and your mama gave you another $4 because you were so wise with spending your money. So you use $1 and 2 and $3 and $4. Now let's make another rhythm. And this time we're going to use a different note. We're going to use the pair of eighth notes. And those get $1, but you get 2 items for $1. So they each cost 50 cents. So what do we start with, everybody? The time signature. And what's the time signature? The 4/4. Very good. So put this on your paper, the 4/4. That's what we always start with. And this time we're going to use the pair of eighth notes. To make a pair of eighth notes, you are going to start with what looks like it's going to be a quarter note, but you're going to make 2 of them and link them together. So I made the note head, and now I'm going to make the stem, and then I'm going to link it on the top. And this gets 1, and it gets and. You can make the and sign. So this gets 1 count. You get 2 items. It's like each item is 50 cents. This is 50 cents. This is 50 cents. It equals $1. That's why we put the 1 there. The 1 and. This is an and sign. It looks like a plus sign. You can make a plus sign if you want. So this is 1 and the reason why I write the counting is it's a way to keep track of what you've spent of your $4 or your 4 counts. And next, I'm going to write another pair of eighth notes. So make the circle and make the stem and make a circle and make a stem and link it at the top, and you write 3 and you write the plus sign. 2, I'm sorry, and the plus sign. Because this is $1. You got 2 items for $1. You got 2, because like at the dollar store, my dollar store that I go to, the cards are 50 cents. So I could get 2 cards for $1. I can get 2 cards for another $1. So I got 4 cards, but I only spent $2. That's what, and you get 4 notes for 2 counts. So this is 1 count and this is 2 counts. So let's buy another set of cards or pair of eighth notes. Make the circle, make the stem, link them together, and you're going to put the number 3 and the plus sign as well. So you will write 3 and then let's do that again. Let me show it to you. And you can always pause this video 3 and. So it's 1 and, 2 and, 3 and then you clap each time when we make these. When we go to clap these, how many times do you clap? Not just one time, not just 2. You need 2 claps for each of these. You need 1 clap, 2 clap, 3 clap, 4 clap, 5 clap, 6 claps. Now let's finish our measure with the pair of eighth notes. And you will continue with this for N. And I'm going to make a little, kind of a tiny double byline. Remember, the double byline is always free, and the time signature is always free. And this is what it looks like. So copy this down. Now I know this is a long video and I'm sorry about that, but I want to get as much information to you as possible. And I want you to practice writing these. Now I'm going to show you how you can use a combination of notes. And this is really good for especially my older kids. So write the time signature, the 4/4, and I'm going to use a quarter rest. And the quarter rest does count money. So I'm going to use the quarter rest, and it looks like a backwards E. So you bought a quarter rest. Remember, your mama gave you $4, so we spent $1 already. I'm going to use another quarter rest. So that cost me another dollar, or another count, and that's how you do that. And then I'm going to use a combination today of this. So this is the half note, and it gets count 3 and 4. 3 and 4, and then I'm going to use a bar line because I'm going to make this as long as a measure as I can, as many measures as I can put. So this is 1, 2, and 3, 4, but I used my $4, so I'm all good. But I have to remember that this gets 2 counts. And now I'm going to use a pair of eighth notes, and I want you to copy this down. And you can use your notes, and you can make different rhythms. So this is the pair of eighth notes, and it gets 1 and I use $1 my 4 because this is a new measure. I have to start back at 1. My mom gave me another $4, so I have 1 and. Remember, I got 2 cards for the price of $1 or 1 count. And now I'm going to use a quarter note. It looks just like the paired eighth notes, but there's only one of them. So that's my this is my quarter note, and this is the second count. And then I'm going to use another quarter note, and it will be my third count. So make a circle, fill it in, and make a stem. And this is my third count. And now I need one more count, and I'm going to use another quarter rest. Even though the rest is a silence, it still counts. So this is the fourth count. So we used our $4, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things from the dollar store. But this one here was a cheaper one. It cost 50 cents each. And next I'm going to use the whole note. And that gets 4 counts total. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to put the double bar line on. And remember, the double bar line is free, and the time signatures are free, and the bar lines are free. This is the whole note, and it gets 4 counts total. Let me write this down, and you write it down as well. This is a new note to you. Whole note. I know my 5th graders, I believe they know the whole note. At least I've introduced it to them, but I haven't introduced it to my younger kids. So this is the whole note, and it gets 4 counts. So copy this down, pause it, and then use a combination of the notes to make rhythms. So let's review on the notes we know. Yes, we know the quarter note. And we know the quarter note gets 1 count. We know that. And copy this down. You can always pause it. The quarter note gets 1 count. We know the quarter rest gets 1 count of silence. And we'll write that underneath that. And this gets 1 count of rest. It looks like a backwards E. And we know the pair of eighth notes, that they get 1 count. We know the pair of eighth notes, and they get 1 count. Copy these down, okay? This is your music bank. This is your bank of notes that you can use. This, or you can call it your key, your musical key. And we know that the half note gets 2 counts. And these are all notes that I've been teaching you. And write this down. We know the half note gets 2 counts. And you can also write the whole note. Oh, let me write the half rest. Let me double check and make sure I do it correctly. And you can also use a half rest. It looks like a hat. Half rest, think hat. And this is what the half rest looks like. Copy this down and use it in your rhythms. The half rest looks like a hat, and you have to spend $2 to use that. And then we know the whole note. And we know the whole note gets 4 counts. And so you copy this down. There's the circle. And this is the whole note, and it gets 4 counts. So these are, and this is the whole rest. It looks like an upside down hat or a plate. And the whole rest gets 4 counts too. So these are all our bank of notes that we know right now. So try to make rhythms using different notes in it, always adding to 4. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing your rhythms next week. Love you all. Bye.